Hello, Bit Nation. This is Sam.
Eric.
And Brian.
And we're doing a Critical Hits of Vintage Year. It's a game that you basically are just, trying to collect some wine in a cellar and shooting the crap out of some bad guys.
So, onward to the Pinot Gris.
Yeah. Brian is currently at the helm, and looks like he's going to choose the cannibal. Which means he can nom nom on his dead bodies of his vanquished enemies.
I like to call them numbers. Num 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 num.
So as far as this game goes, it's pretty bare bones is what you can see.
Isn't it early access?
I don't think so. I think it's actually, no, it's out, dude.
Oh.
It has released. They're still doing updates for it. But it's your
okay,
basic roguelike top-down shooter, never the same twice. And they got a variety of guns, a variety of ways to play the game, and a variety of enemies who act differently and respond differently too.
And as you can see, as soon as you start, every level, you're invisible until you do something.
Oh.
Yep. Now,
well, I just lost 2 health.
Yeah, as of right now,
I'm doing swell.
as you can see in the top left-hand corner, we have 4 health, 2 of which has already been taken out. Quirks, as you can see in the bottom of the top left there, is your currency. You have, for his current, I guess what looks like a friggin' double-shot shotgun, sawed-off. He's got 2 shots each, 20 shots total.
This guy is
And it's basically just a loot fest. Oh god! And there's traps down here, and it's permadeath as well. So it makes things very tense, very good for let's plays. Or people who are spazzing out.
Mostly me.
He's only got 1 HP left. Level cleared.
Cleared.
This entire thing is this guy sends you down here to get a special thing of wine, but it's a crazy cellar. And there's boss fights, there's spells, whatnot. It's
I want it all.
It's pretty intricate. This game actually came out at the beginning of January.
So I guess you're all here for corks?
Yeah, dude. The corks from the wine.
For the wine?
Hell yeah. You can choose between a bunch of different, a bunch of...
The rhino.
What the fuck is the rhino? It's probably like...
I like this one.
Double. Yeah, dude. It's purple.
It has purple name, which probably
at the very
mean
end,
it's better.
At the very end, you get, it's sort of like Hotline Miami, just not as strong of a narrative. And, as you can see at the very beginning there, you're invisible until you, make
I said that already. Copycat.
First action. So
yes,
that allows
but
you to
check out, I'm bleeding. My trail of blood tears.
That allows you to scout out the map and pick best point of attack. Also check to see all the different enemies that are in the area there.
Holy
butts.
Holy spicoli.
Holy spicoli. Hey yo. Holy spicoli. So this game is currently $4.99 on Steam, made by Lunar Bear Studio, who has made nothing else. It's gotten positive reviews thus far, probably for the simplicity of its gameplay. Oh! And you were caught at the very end there, and it's super easy to dodge.
digi-dodge.
And as you can see, it shows how many kills you got. It shows your overall performance. And it allows you to retry using the same character you just used. It's real quick to load. It's super small, so installing it is not a pain in the ass by any stretch of the imagination. And yeah, I mean it's
Let's go
pretty
knife.
simplistic.
Wait,
so
how do I drop
you
this?
right click to change your.
Oh.
Yep, you can carry 2 guns total, and
2 weapons.
2 weapons total, and it's unfortunate that there is no controller support for this, because I would think this would play pretty well on a controller as well. There's also a shift sort of dash you can do by pressing and holding the left shift and a directional button. And the controls here to move around are WASD like normal for most games.
Yes, I am not a computer gamer, as anyone can see. As anyone can see.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds like a personal problem to me of your shortcomings as a man.
Is that what it takes to be a man in your life?
I think you just died mega hard.
Yeah, super hard. So anyone that can purchase a computer, Sam thinks you're a man.
No, I'm not saying
Okay.
that. I'm saying you have to be proficient with killing in a video game on a computer.
Yep.
And it technically doesn't count unless you played Skyrim.
Alright, so let's recap here. Graphics don't look the best, but some people are really into this.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Like Brian, like it's more
Some
of a retro
people
look.
dig the oldie timies.
The soundtrack is a little overbearing, if I'm gonna be honest. It's decent, like don't get me wrong, it doesn't sound like shit, but it's a bit much. And they don't it's not really like they don't give you like a volume, you know, like bar to adjust. It's just on or off. It's all or nothing. So that kind of sucks. I wish there was a bit more. I wish maybe there was a way to either customize the controls better, or perhaps maybe, like I said, controller support for me would make this game a better buy. But for $5, I mean, you're getting a whole lot for $5.
Oh,
Good job.
I just walked into it. Yeah.
You were like, hey, I want to catch that bullet.
It's super
that bullet
addictive because
seems
it's
fun.
super simplistic, kind of like
Ooh.
FTL. You kind of can just play it casually here.
Oh,
Now, Brian, what do you think? $4.99?
worth it.
Worth it. Sam?
Yeah.
Would you play it though?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You look super enthusiastic right now about your answer.
It has
I'm
nothing
pretty
to do with
sure
It
that
has
you were
everything
like,
to do
I'm
with
not touching
tired,
this game.
You know? Like,
I'm not touching.
I'm pretty sure that's probably not, you know, everything but exactly what you said.
If this
So-
game were a woman, I wouldn't touch its vagina with the fucking torture gun.
No, it's not that bad. I mean, it looks fun. I mean, it does seem fun. It's just that I am kind of tired, so it's like, you know, I'm trying to muster.
So it's the
fun.
game's fault for my being tired.
Basically, Sam is
No.
saying the game is putting him to sleep. That's what he's saying.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Burn.
Okay, so
Burn on you, Sam.
I guess a resounding yes from us here at Bidney.
Yeah.
And don't worry, guys.
Huh,
If this
huh.
seems like a little bit of a quick crit hits, we're gonna do a double feature this time. So sit back, relax, and we'll be right back with our next one. Thank you very much for
Double
watching.
feature.
Bit Nation out.
Dude, you didn't kill that guy. You
Apparently
suck.
not. I suck, okay?
This one is entitled Massive Chalice, made by the same gentleman that brought you Psychonauts many years ago. And it's very much almost identical to XCOM, Enemy Unknown, except for it has a fantasy setting, and the graphics are sort of a, I don't know, it's like an amalgamation of like comic-y with the cell shading and whatnot, and it's a bit more simplistic. I mean, they're not as big of a company as the people who made XCOM, but they did a really good job in my opinion. So let's get to the game itself.
They never really do say where the cadence came from.
No,
so
yeah,
they
it's
could be
really-
alien.
It's really, I mean, it could be an alien. It could be like a XCOM prequel, but I doubt it. So the alien race that are attacking in this particular game are called the Cadence, as you can see above, and just like in XCOM, they attack in 2 different locations, and you have to choose one. And not defending a specific location, you get an attack marker, as you can see there, with one of the 3 little diamonds. If the territory gets 3 diamonds, it falls to the Cadence, and you lose that as a territory. Now, in this game, you physically have to birth your soldiers instead of hire them like you did in
Making
XCOM.
sense, yeah.
So it's a lot like old-time medieval type of era where you pair off individuals in different keeps around your land, around your continent here, and then they birth different.
Basically, the
Different
only
babies.
people who can survive against the Cadence are people of royal or noble blood.
Yeah, well, they're, I guess, quote-unquote heroes. So here it is, the Massive Chalice, and the Massive Chalice is sort of like a bunch of deities, and these deities birthed you, the Lord Commander, as kind of like a middleman between them and the people living on this continent. You command all of the forces, and you get your missions and help and context from these deities that live within this cup. So as you can see, there are many different heroes and many different houses Like, I mean, I guess you can consider this like an XCOM version of, what is it, Game of Thrones, where there's just many different houses. Each house is very unique names, but it's quite limited in the variety of units that you can have. There's a couple of different ranged units, and then a melee class. The ranged scout unit is your classic archer slash stealth unit that goes ahead of the army, scouts out everything, checks where the cadence are, and then reports back. Right, the alchemist. They right, explosive area of effect weapons, and then the caberjack, which is your power, your power hitter, your melee DPS. And so yeah, it's
swings a gigantic. I don't know who's.
It's like a tree, for lack of a better word. So yeah, and basically it starts off the game. You have to pair up these guys. They give you a breakdown of their stats, different traits, and these traits, funny enough, and this is where it differs from XCOM. These traits actually are passed down to their offspring. So you got to be careful, because if you pick people with different traits that make them poor, you're not going to want to make a hunter, which relies on ranged combat, and have their accuracy be really bad, or a caberjack whose HP takes a hit, or or something like that. So in this particular instance, I'd say a couple hours, 2-3 hours into the game here, and I have plenty of guys here, and this is my list of heroes who are active and able to serve in an army if the cadence attack. You can only have 5 total,
and serve 6.
And with each, just like an XCOM, they level after each battle. But just like in XCOM, if they get wounded, they will have to sit out for a certain amount of time. As you can see, the graphics they're not terrible. I mean, if you're into this sort of thing, they are pretty good. Yeah, this is the caberjack, and they're pretty good for what you got. I mean, this company, I mean, the game is still in early access, but it's fantastic looking from what I can tell. And as you can tell, from this, it gives you a whole lot of information and really allows you to connect with your yeah, it really allows you to connect with your different heroes. So from this main keep, you can also do research, and research, as in XCOM, takes a very long time. Right. It takes a very long time to do much of anything. But in this, instead of acquiring the technology like you would in XCOM, it's a certain number of kills, as you can see here. 16 kills of a lapse, which is one of the cadence creatures, will get you veil armor, and different items here, just like in XCOM. Okay, so right now I'm researching the upgraded caberjack armor. So let's go out to the map here.
Caberjack.
Now, it seems as though there is an attack, and I'll get to that in just one moment. But as I said, you can actually build the different keeps, and those keeps you have to fill with the different heroes.
The Lord and the Lady.
Right, so removing those heroes from the active roster and placing them here, you can no longer use them. And a lot of times, you want to use both experienced heroes, but also heroes that are older, because they will die of old age. As you can see here, we have to hold out for 289 years still. Okay, and I'm only on year 11, and it's going to get increasingly difficult as the years go on. But I mean, you might imagine how many of our heroes are going to die within this time frame. Okay, so you got to constantly be pumping out babies, and I mean, anybody you lose, just like in XCOM, it's permadeath. So you got to be very careful about the combat. So yeah, also the other buildings that you can build is like a training arena, also like a research facility, and you have to populate those with heroes as well. And each of those heroes are removed from the active roster forever once you select them. So you got to be real careful and choose the correct heroes for the correct path for the correct job.
Which is why baby making is very important in this game.
Yep. So fertility and all that stuff plays a big part. So here we go. Let's get into the combat, and then we will leave you with that. So here, once you choose what territory you want to go to, this is where you're picking the characters who you will then take into battle. So we got 2 caberjacks, 2 alchemists, and 1 hunter.
It's an obscenely large crossbow.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, to be honest. But I mean, whatever floats their boat. I don't know. You really want to have a mixed unit. You really don't want to have like 4 archers and then 1 caberjack or something like that, because you'll find yourself up against something that you can't possibly take out. So yeah. So here we go. Let's deploy.
Into the water we go.
Yeah.
May the horns
And
of
like you
battle
said, you
carry
know,
you to victory.
you want to use people that are leveled up, because each time you use leveled up people for making babies, their babies end up becoming that much stronger, and then you can level them up.
Yep, exactly right. So, like I said, it's basically an XCOM clone, just with the fantasy setting. The combat is basically identical. Okay, combustible or breakable terrain, and fog of war as well. Just not set in an urban environment, obviously. So, these guys are a type of enemy that you don't see offhand at the very beginning, and basically what they do is they do a ranged attack that it sops, or it soaks up your experience as it hits your warriors, your guys. So you don't want them to be able to attack you just freely. So what I probably want to do here is move to here.
They look like banshees.
Yeah, something like that. And as you can see, just with XCOM, you have a percentage chance to hit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with this guy ranged. And you can either left click where you want to do, or where you want to perform your attack, and just hit confirm, or right click, and it'll do the same.
Good bluey.
Now, of course, I can't see as to whether or not I hit that, but I'm pretty confident I did. Also, as you can see, I just performed the right click there. As you can see, I want to move over to say, see, he's all stealthy and stuff. And this caberjack, is a lone wolf, so he actually does better when he's further away from the others. So I can see that I did do half of this unit's damage to it, and I can go ahead and I can fuck this guy. So I'm gonna go ahead and fuck this guy. I have an 80% chance to hit, but you won't believe how many times that fucks up. Oh, thank God. And as they die, they explode, and that explosion does stun your units. So it's kind of inconvenient. To be honest, this game, they kind of make the cadence a little OP. I'm not gonna lie. No, you know what? I better move just to play it safe here. There we are. What? Oh, okay. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Now that area of attack does hurt your own guys, so you got to be very, very careful. Here we go. Yay!
I get way too excited
Great.
about this.
Go with that, bitch. And as you can see,
Kind of dark.
there is a big, huge area here to deal with. So that's pretty nice, and you know, the terrain is rather varied. I rather enjoy it, and it's a pretty decent game. It's a pretty decent game for the price. I'm not going to lie. Let me check out what this costs, and then we will finish up the first impressions video. Sam, is there anything you wanted to say about the game?
Not really. I mean, we've pretty much covered everything, you know? The only thing that I'd say is I'd like to see maybe a few more different kinds of units, you know? That would be my only real gripe. More units, because 3, while good, and yeah, you cover all the bases with that, it still kind of feels like I want more. But then again, that's because I'm notorious for being, the gamer who loves, like, the big, titles, so...
Right, no, and that's fine, that's fine. And you know what, I have to correct myself. This actually did become a full release. It's not actually in early access right now. It became a full release on July 1st, and it is currently being offered at at $19.99, I believe. So, for me, that's a thumbs up. I mean, absolutely, it has full controller support. It's no multiple. Last month. It was July 1st. No.
July.
No. June 1st. Okay, so,
I could have sworn I heard July.
if you guys want to pick it up, it's available on Steam for $19.99 from Double Fine Productions. This indie strategy game is pretty nice, man. If you guys liked XCOM, but you wanted more of a fantasy type of thing, this is definitely for you. It does take those mechanics. It does rely very heavily on those mechanics, I'm not going to lie. So, if you feel like, that really wasn't your style, you're not going to like this. But, from what we've played, we enjoy. And Double Fine was gracious enough to allow us this copy, so very nice.
Oh no!
See, as you can see, combustible environments that, just like in the previous game, allow you to damage the enemy without directly attacking them, which is pretty decent. Yeah, it seems as though I killed something. Anyway, guys, from all of us here at BitNation, my name's Eric.
And Sam.
I'd like to thank you very much for watching. You have a good rest of your night.